Mazel Tov with Avraham Leib. Come on, take a kadu. Mazel Tov to Yehudis. I'd like to take a few moments of our time this evening to speak about the remarkable journey and transition, and most of all, the reward of being persistent and consistent in Judaism and in the way of Chabad. I was going to write a polemic, and I called up the plaque makers, as they call it. And she said, "You're going to need 2 plaques." I said, "Well, 2 plaques don't do the job. I need 100 plaques." There's so much to say about Avraham Leib and Yehudis that the plaques are limited. They constrict my affection and my feelings and the feelings of Chabad. So I wrote a little polemic, and I'm going to read it because I didn't put it on a plaque. And I'm going to give the copy to Yehudis and to Avraham Leib. I'm going to ask my dear friend Biri to present it with me. It's been said, age like fine wine, it gets better as it ages. So true, just as life starts with a potential for good, so does wine. As wine ages, it reaches maturity and develops. Our hope is that the winemaker uses the right equipment and is experienced to use the correct environment. Through patience and caring, the wine reaches its very potential and becomes a delight both to the buyer and the seller. Rabbi Avraham and Yehudis together. Both of you have the ingredients of being good winemakers. They have all the signs. They nurture and invite all to their home. They promote the warmth and enrichment. They have the right equipment and the knowledge to bring out the potential of Yiddishkeit from each person they meet. Let's speak about Avraham Leib for just a moment. The Avraham Leib that I know. When you enter the shul early in the morning, you're greeted by a Rabbi Avraham, who, like a Zaidi, cares about you and inquires and tries to meet your needs. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what the word Zaidi means? You can have many different adjectives and adverbs and what have you. But Zaidi comes from the Yiddish word Zayda, be here. Sometimes you can't speak to your father, many times. Can't speak to your mother, even more times. Can't speak to your uncles. But you got to find some hope, a Zayda. Zayda versteht. Zayda listens. Zayda, be here for me. Be here for my family. Be here for our friendship. Be here for my nachas. Be here for making me comfortable where? In shul. Mr. Gralnik is one of those Zaydas that make people feel comfortable when they come into shul. He's always running around, you know, finding a pair of tefillin and a talis and make sure they have the right page in the right book, and they sit up, they sit down, they sit up, they sit down, and he's always giving instructions, you know, to everybody. But the truth is that everybody's appreciate truly in their heart that there's someone who cares about them. Better be instructed by a Zayda than by a person who doesn't really care about you at all. Yehudis is the bubby. She's also involved with the wine and the maturity. The difference is that the bubby makes sure that everything tastes right, tastes correctly. The wine is not too sweet, it's not too dry. Just as each one has a different taste, so must one be treated with special love and friendship. Not everyone can take the message of Zaidi. What a Zaidi. Not everyone can take the love of Yehudis. Together they balance one another and they make a person feel that they have a Babi and Zaidi. It's been many years that our community has had the good fortune to have such a caring couple that care for all of us, making our community feel that it has a Zaidi and Babi. In recognition, I present you, meaning the Babi and Zaidi, with the silver wine holder, a small appreciation from all of us for being what you are, sterling silver couple. A great example how to bring out the potential in all of us. Mazel tov. I'd like to take a couple of moments and speak about the importance of Zaidi and Babi Gralnik in my personal life. And my life has basically been a book. It's been lived with everybody in this community for 10, 20, 30 years, almost 40 years. And God willing, longer. Amen. Amen. I met Zaidi Gralnik, I believe it was a Yom Tov, a Rosh Hashanah, and my son Shia said to me, "Who is that man?" I said his name is Gralnik. I couldn't for some reason say Gralnik. I was from Brooklyn. It was Gralnik. And my son decided that Mr. Gralnik and Mrs. Gralnik are nice people and we should invite them to our home for Shabbos. Shabbos became Chodesh, month. Chodesh became Shana, year. Shana became Shosha Regalim, became the three festive series festivals. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Shavuot, Pesach, all the holidays we had the Gralniks in our home coming or going, and somehow Rabbi Avraham became like an uncle, and Yehudis became from Judy to Yehudis, and Al became Avraham, and it was like today's Chumash, you know, Avraham became Avraham, and Sarah became Sarai. The names changed, the people changed, the tafkid, as we call the responsibility of their lives, changed completely until we had a whole different kind of family of Gralniks. There weren't the Gralniks anymore, but it was Avraham Leib. And I'd like to relate to you a funny story, if I may, take your time and enjoyment a little bit. One of my strong points is I'm a spiritual person, not only in spirituality, but in spirits, which is called alcohol. Excuse me. I had l'chaim ready with it. So it became Simchas Torah. Avraham Leib, do you remember? Which one? Avraham Leib and Yehudis decided they were going to invite the, what was it called? The Chavurah of Temple Menorah. And they were going to celebrate, David, you remember? They were going to celebrate Simchas Torah with an Lubavitcher. The first Simchas Torah was a miracle. It was like Moshe Rabbeinu hitting a stone and whiskey came out. And I'll never forget it how it was 2 o'clock in the morning and I thought I'd finished my 3rd bottle. And another bottle appeared and it didn't enter my mind that people could acquire schnapps on the holiday. But a couple of years went by, and through the goodness of my friends who supported the system that we have to be misameach, we have to be happy in a holiday of Simchas Torah, Mr. Gralnik said that he and his wife, Yehudis, invited the Chavurah. Chavurah was an eclectic group from Temple Menorah. And at that time, we had a custom that Rabbi